Welcome back to Our Cine Culture. I'm Matt.
Jason.
I'm Jeff.
What's better than a Bourbon County brand stout? A double barrel Bourbon County brand stout. What's better than a double barrel Bourbon County brand stout?
Two.
Double barrel Bourbon County brand stout.
Dude.
These beers, I'm going to let Jason do his thing as he usually does. But so these beers were only released last year and this year. Is that right?
So 2019 and then 2021. So a year off.
And this is part of the coveted Bourbon County brand coming from Goose Island out of Chicago. And every single year on Black Friday, these things, people go nuts over these. And this is the double barrel. Tell us about the barrels. Tell us about all of the barrels that these are aged in.
Well, let's back it up just a little bit. So Bourbon County brand stout, I think everybody who's into beer has heard of that at some point. I'm not sure how long they've been doing it, maybe 2008-ish.
It's Budweiser, right?
It is Budweiser now. I think they sold out in, about 12
Something like that, yeah.
We'll make it up.
Who remembers?
Correct. But usually what they'll do every year, you have a barrel-aged stout, and then they'll have some variants. So for people that don't know, variants would be maybe adding adjuncts, so maybe coffee or a barley wine. I guess that's different than a stout. But in this case, they just do barrel treatments. So each of these has different barrel treatments, but they're all from Elijah Craig. So that's the pretty cool thing about it. So the first one was done in 2019. So this one came out then. It is aged for 12 months in Elijah Craig barrels that they had that were 11 years old. So they had 11-year-old Elijah Craig barrels, aged the stout in it for a year. Then after that, they took the stout out of that barrel, put it in another Elijah Craig barrel that stout or that barrel had been aged 12 years. And then aged it another year. When it came out, you had to enter a lottery. You couldn't just buy this in the shelf. You had to enter a lottery. You had to win it, and then you had to pick it up in Chicago in person. No proxy. You couldn't get it online. You couldn't get it shipped to you. So the cost of this one was about $55.
Retail?
Retail.
Okay.
Secondary went up to about $300.
Okay.
Now it's hovering around $200.
Okay.
So
that's last year's, right?
That's 2019. So the new one is 2021. So this one is...
Yeah, I got to 2020.
They didn't do one then.
Well, that's not fair.
I agree. This one's this year. Still Elijah Craig, which is cool. I like what they've stated with them. But this one was aged for 12 months in Elijah Craig small batch barrels, just regular. And then aged again. So took that stout out, emptied another barrel. It was Elijah Craig Toasted. So Elijah Craig Toasted's only been out about a year or two. And so this one's also aged 2 years total, a year in each different barrel.
I like Elijah Craig Toasted.
Have you had it?
Mm-hmm. I think so. Yeah.
I had a ball in Chicago. Did you try it then?
I don't remember.
Shocker.
Yeah.
But I really think I
Shocker.
have had it.
Obviously, he liked it.
So
When we were in Chicago?
Yeah, when I brought it up there.
I think that's where
it was
we
a
had
thank you gift for our host.
Well, maybe you didn't open it, though, did you?
Yeah, we opened that day.
Oh, then I had some.
Yeah. So let's try these things. I mean, they got pretty tubes, right?
They are very tubular.
Yeah. You want to get close?
I almost think there's a poster inside there.
There should be a poster.
There should be a poster next to it.
So,
Will you throw that tube in the garbage or you save it?
No, I'm going to save it.
You should save it.
I'm going to let it sit on my shelf.
Put it on the mantle.
I'm going to put Christmas lights over it. Now, the difference is also toasted. So this one's toasted. This one's not. The other difference is the proof. So this one comes out ABV-wise at 16%.
Oh, wow.
This one comes out 18.1.
Light.
That's a big difference. That's a big difference.
And what's standard Bourbon County? Isn't it like 14 or
Bourbon
13?
County, so they do those two different ones. One's in some states you can't get it in, like the ABV laws or whatever. But
that's Ohio.
I think it's 13.9 and then 14.5.
Right. I thought you couldn't get it in Ohio.
You can now.
You can now.
Yeah.
They changed the law.
I remember in Tennessee.
Thank you, Donald Trump.
Yeah.
I remember in Tennessee, though, you used to have like two stores, like literally.
Yeah, they did because literally. That is right because if you went to what was that place you used to go to in Tennessee in Knox?
There's like Frugal, McDougal, and then
I'm thinking of the
Midtown.
No, I'm thinking of the other place with the big tap list.
You're talking about Nashville Craft Brew.
And they would have the two stores side by side. That's correct. That's hilarious.
You had to walk outside to the other one
because the other store had the high ABV stuff. That
and I think their cutoff was like 5. Like it was something.
Did they do
really
it that
low.
long?
Do what now?
Is that law gone now?
That law's gone now. Yeah. So let's try them. I mean, I think we should try the older one first and then go to toasted.
Yeah. Open it for the first time ever.
Let's see it.
Drum roll, please.
We did not just open that and then put the cap back on.
Oh my God! Look at that.
Look at that. That's pretty. That's pretty.
Beautiful. It doesn't look like the other ones.
This one, we'll have to pop the.
Why it doesn't look like the other ones?
It does.
I don't know what. I think this one's like tan. I think I remember seeing it online.
I have to scrape those.
Ooh, you know something we forgot to say though?
What?
This is not. We did forget to say a prayer, but this is not released yet. How did we get this?
Oh, contraband. Is it because of your mob connections?
It fell off a truck.
I don't know. It fell off a truck. Or somebody dropped it or something. I don't know. It looks nice. Beautiful beer.
Yeah, pours pretty thick. I mean, if you're comparing this to, I'd say 2 C's. If you're comparing this to what we would say new money stouts, the ones that have a ton of lactose or whatever,
I don't think that recorded.
Not necessarily that thick, but this is what a stout probably should be, I guess.
Smells great. Some
let's pour the other one too.
Some soy.
It's Dark Lord.
You want to do side by side with Dark Lord?
He brought me a Dark Lord.
You're welcome.
Why? What the hell's wrong with this guy? It's like, no, put that back in your bag. I don't want that.
Yeah, I was like, nobody else wanted it.
Comparing the two, this is 2019, this is 2021. More carb on the 2021, which makes sense, right?
Oh, yeah.
Lacey, about the same.
Looks very similar.
How's the nose?
Oh, the 19 is
Deeper,
well, I got
darker,
much deeper.
richer.
I got some hops in my 21.
Yeah. That's the thing. We didn't rinse the glasses.
Yeah. Should I go back upstairs for the 8th time and get some? So you were talking about body. And,
these are different.
And the way beer has progressed, evolved, I guess, as it were, over the past, I don't know, 6 years. It's like more viscosity is better, but it ends up just becoming like sludge. And that's a good thing, you know. A lot of these beer nerds like that. Jeff likes that. He loves just like swimming in sludge. But like, I think you lose a lot. You lose a lot of the nuance when you do that, and that's why the older styles. I think, as we were looking at that old money tickers page, a lot of the older styles are a little bit thinner, but you can pick out a lot more of the nuances, and I think it's you can appreciate it more. And I think that's one of the reasons I think people keep going back to Bourbon County.
Tasting notes for me, the double barrel from 2019 is more traditional Bourbon County. I love the taste. I mean, it's really good to me.
I think the 19 is thicker, richer, more brownie. I think the 21, I'm actually getting, and maybe I'm wrong here, but I'm getting like very little hints of vanilla and cinnamon in the 19. Yeah, which is not natural to it. So maybe it's
from the 19.
I mean, excuse me, from the 21. Like I'm getting a lighter body, and I'm getting slight hints of vanilla and cinnamon.
I'm getting something that's a little bit brighter, like not quite fruit level, but maybe like like a grape skin or something like that.
In the 21?
Yeah, in the 21. It is. There's something brighter about it.
It's a lighter body for sure.
Could it be just that it's brand new and it's not 2 years old?
It could be. I have had the 2019 before. So we had this, the first time I had it was a year old, so probably 2020 at Goose Island on site. This tastes the same as it did then.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, but that was a year old, so maybe fresh it was a little different. The weird thing about the toasted barrels, here's the description of these. So the 2021, it's more heavily toasted, the barrel.
Yeah.
But lightly charred.
See,
now, how in the hell does that make sense?
That toasted taste is what's coming.
Yeah, but how do you toast an oak barrel, but you heavily toast an oak barrel, but lightly char? Like, what's the difference?
I'm not in the oak barrel business, so I don't want to speak for anybody. And I don't want the oak barrel industry coming back and yelling at us that we got it wrong. Basically.
They're all watching, so you be careful what you say next.
I mean, their lobby is huge.
I think the difference to me is the 2019 tastes like if you compare it to bourbon, it's an 8-year-old bourbon. If I compare this, it's a 4-year-old bourbon. That's kind of how I taste. It tastes younger. It tastes like a little more young on the oak side.
Jeff, does it taste young to you?
It smells a little bit like ambition, hopelessness, and the breath of my sixth grade PE teacher.
Student debt.
Student debt.
So I don't know. I mean, I'd like to see the toasted open up a little bit, but
they're both really nice beers.
They're well done. They're well done.
But I got to go with the 19 first.
I don't think it's close, is it?
Yeah.
No, it's not something that's off in that 21, but it's just so different. It's so different that it's not what I'm used to from a Bourbon County.
I'd like to see what it would do with a little bit of age. Maybe you pick up one on Black Friday or 5 and see how they
go. So the 21 is just Chicago only, or will be in distribution?
No, we'll actually see that here.
for $55.
No, so MSRP is 50 on that one.
So 15.
Yeah, the 2019 was 55, so a little bit more expensive.
We were talking earlier about Angry Chair and stuff like that, and the pastry stouts and the big stouts, etc., etc. Despite everything, I still prefer this.
I think there's something to be said for this. If you take a lot of the Angry Chair stuff, I know we're kind of picking on them, but
or take
it tastes like
Modern Times or whoever.
Let's pick on everybody.
Yeah,
how many people can we
Times,
piss off to get
I want
views?
to pick on you.
So Modern Times does not use lactose, though. I don't think they use it in either stouts. I know Angry Chair
But their
does
stouts are
occasionally.
really huge too, and they also have a lot of stuff in them. They have cocoa nibs and vanilla and whatever everybody else is throwing in a stout these days.
Sure. Well, adjuncted up.
Adjuncted to hell.
Yeah. So,
but despite the buyout, despite everything, it's still freaking one of the best stouts.
So I talked to some people in Chicago, some locals up there, and from my beer group too. And what I could tell, what they told me was, when Goose sold out the AB InBev, what they saw from it, from the barrel program, is they just got better access to better barrels.
They invested in it. I think
it's massive.
If you read that book, I think it was in the book. I forget if it's called Sellout or something like that about Goose Island. They talk about that they did really invest still in the barrel program. They didn't abandon it, obviously, and they put more money into it. And they realized this is a great deal for them every Black Friday that they're going to sell out all over the country.
And I think it's been really good for them starting, 2 years ago, they started doing those single barrel A's. So they jumped on the bourbon train, which is fine. So Elijah Craig, this year you're going to have a Blanton single barrel and an Old Forester 150 a single barrel.
Right. I know what I wanted to say too is that, if you think about what we're drinking right now and you think back 12, I don't know if it was 12 or 13 years ago with Rare. This stuff is, Rare at the time was about 45. We've probably talked about this a million times, but Rare was like about $45 or so.
Bourbon County Rare.
Yeah, Bourbon County Rare, excuse me.
Yep.
And also similar big, packaging, and it was different. It came in a box and all this.
People lost their shit over the box. It's in a fucking box.
It was a 22-ounce bottle as opposed to the 500 milliliter. But still, this stuff kicks Rare's butt by far. It's so much better than Rare.
You think so?
You don't think you think Double Barrel is not better than Rare?
I think Double Barrel 2019 is better than Rare. I don't know what Toasted
Maybe
is.
not the Toasted, but I think this 19 is far better than Rare.
I think both of them is better than Rare 15. Now the original Rare, I think it might be better than this one. Go ahead, Matt.
I think this is better than the original Rare.
Okay.
If you told me how a beer tasted 12 years ago, whatever I say, I'll be fucking lying to you. I'll be lying to you. I can't remember that shit.
Oh, I can't. It's like a Rolodex in my head.
Can't.
Is it really?
Yeah.
How many beers have you checked into?
It's like prostitute names and beers just rolling in my head.
Sometimes they get interchanged.
I didn't hear you. What's the highest rated beer for you, Jeff?
Arrogant bastard.
So your opinion is discounted.
Did you have a prostitute named Arrogant Bastard once?
That's the problem. I can't get this.
You keep getting
It's all
mixed up,
confused in my head.
Getting mixed up.
I met him once. He's a pretty good dude. He's a nice guy. Yeah, good guy.
So one thing I always think is fascinating is this obsession with over barreling stuff. Like how many?
We need triple barrel. We need triple barrel.
That's the question. How many barrels is too many barrels? Because
how many monkeys are in a barrel?
Do you remember the first double barrel beer you bought?
Do you think it's Firestone Walker or Stone?
I was gonna say
PNC. I was thinking
I think even Stone did double barrel, didn't they?
They have before. They've done Arrogant
double barrel back. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But maybe Firestone Walker.
Do you remember when Hunapu came out? That double barrel.
I do.
And everybody lost their shit over that one.
That's actually really good beer.
It was amazing beer. And
wasn't
again,
bourbon and rum or something like that?
Something like that. It was two different spirits. Yeah. But I feel like that was the precipice. After that, people were just like, how many fucking barrels can we stick this beer in? And
I want to see 6 barrels. Can it be? It's not mathematically possible, I don't think. No. They've crunched the numbers and they're like, I don't think we can do 6 barrels.
6 isn't a high number in math. I'm pretty sure
we're not going to be able to put this beer on the market until 15 years from now.
Looking back at 2020
and just like 1 barrel, 2 barrels, 3 barrels, done in 45 seconds.
You put it in there, you move it really quickly. Next one.
It just touches the wood.
It touches the wood. That's what she said.
Yeah.
So looking back at the Rare from 2010 is when they did it. So, comparative. That would just without knowing, guessing, and I've seen all the numbers. So, if you compare 2010 Rare to 2019 and 2021, the double barrels, what do you think the ABV difference would be? These are roughly similar.
Isn't Rare less than this, or am I wrong?
Yeah, it is.
I wouldn't assume they were all less back in the day because
13%, but I feel like Bourbon County back in the day was still 14. Maybe I'm wrong.
No clue.
It's just fucking creeping.
White label. We're talking about white label Bourbon County style.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'd have to look that up.
I think the oldest one I've had is maybe 08.
I would guess it's 10 or 12%.
I don't know.
Well, it's 10 years ago. We thought a high ABV beer was 8.
I doubt they were putting out 14% white label Goose Island. Yeah. That seems too high for back then.
It might have been.
Was there any beer in the market back then that was 14% that wasn't like a Utopia or something?
Well,
shit, some of those double IPAs got up there to like 10.
But that's not 14.
I know.
So there's a difference. So here's the thing about math works. 10 is 4 less than 14.
If you want to hear how math works, just if you want to hear,
have a bachelor's degree in science.
If you want to hear how math works, go back and check some other episodes out for the math wizard over here.
I'm very good at math.
Mm-hmm.
How old are the Avery Demon series?
Actually, it's a really, you know what?
Those are probably those 2006
early,
maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
So I think that's an excellent point because the early Averys were super high ABV beers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that was their shtick.
That was their shtick, and it didn't seem to work out that well for them.
Are they out of business?
They were bought out. They were bought out by the same company, I think, that bought Founders, right?
But they shut down all the Demons and all the higher.
Have you ever seen those?
I mean, they don't distribute them.
We
I think they still do them on draft.
We were talking about something the other day, like this beer beats those $20 12-ounce Averys. We were drinking something the other day. Do you remember? It was me and you, or
me and you and Jordan? I think it was. But
we were talking about it.
I can't remember that, but I tell you when I go out to Avery, so I used to have some work out in Denver area. So occasionally I was out there, I'd go to Avery, and when you go tour the brewery, you could have a formal tour, but mainly just walk around. So I walked around and I noticed like literally 95% of everything they were doing was White Rascal.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a big seller.
Like it was. I never saw them can anything other than White Rascal.
Yeah.
I went to the older Avery, which was much smaller, and they had a very tiny can line.
Well, I thought it was the same spot. They just kept building on.
I thought they moved to a new location. Never mind.
I don't know, but the location I've been to has been added on to 3 times.
But also,
when I went, they were smaller still, and the tap room was smaller.
for sure.
Also older for Jeff was like 1914.
Yeah.
1914, Avery Brewing is putting out wonderful beers.
You flew to Colorado? No, we took a wagon.
The train will get here in
horse and carriage.
We took the train and the horse and carriage. We got there in 3 years. Germany has invaded Austria-Hungary.
Well, I have on the 2019, we've got 18%, 18.1% on this one. I don't know that I get more booze from
This is 18%?
The 2019.
That's 18%?
Yeah, the other one's 16.
See, I don't think I taste 18%. Remember those?
I get a little bit of bite out of it.
I don't taste the Avery one's stronger.
Those Avery beers were boozy as hell. This is not boozy.
That would hurt you.
See, I don't.
This will hurt you if you drink the whole.
Do you guys want to open an Avery? I got
I don't.
30 too many. Okay,
no, thank you.
But the 19, I get a little bit of bite out of it. I don't get a whole lot more than like a standard Bourbon County, which is a credit to their brewmaster. I feel like I do get a little bit more out of the 21.
Yeah.
But again, the 21, it's just a different beer. It's completely different.
I think it's hard to compare them. I mean, you're both double barrel, but it's just how do you compare?
Apples and oranges.
It is. So let's look at value.
Can you pull out 1914, Jeff?
I can't get out of this voice.
All right, listen here.
I'm stuck here forever.
For 2019, it was $55 cost. Would you pay that, Jeff?
Yeah, I think that's a phenomenal beer.
Yeah, agree. Matt, would you pay $55?
Yeah.
So let's look at. I would too. Let's look at secondary. So it got as high as 300. Let's just say it's settled around 200 now, maybe a little bit under. Would you pay 200 for a 15.9 ounce beer?
The answer would be no.
Okay.
I'm going to say no, too. I know there's a lot of Bourbon County fanboys out there. I've never been one. I've always enjoyed it. I've never been the chaser. There's a lot of chasers out there. I wouldn't do it.
I think, when we went to Goose Island a year ago, the double barrel 2019 was on site and it was $75. I didn't bat an eye. I thought that was a good price for it. I think that's probably my limit. I might go 80. You know?
What about 85?
I wouldn't do it. 82. 82.50. 82.50.
2 quarters.
So let's talk about the new one. So the new one is $50 MSRP. Would you pay that for the new one?
I don't know.
I'm kind of with you.
I'm a little on the fence on the $50 because I think this one is so much better than 19.
It's a lot.
The 19 is so much better.
I think you nailed it with the brownie, the bourbon brownie. That's all I'm getting from 2019.
Yeah, I get a lot of brownie.
Yeah.
I mean, the 21 tastes good. Mm-hmm. I think it's worth closer to a $30 range.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, I agree. And then secondary is $150. There's not a chance in hell me paying that for this.
No.
It's crazy. The market's already kind of accommodated like what we've basically concurred.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we are geniuses.
Yeah. So, spoiler alert, me and Matt went to FOBAB weekend ago or so. Which
is the festival in Chicago.
It is the festival of barrel-aged beers. It was cold, pretty cold up there. But anyway, it's weird. It's windy, too. Like, I have no idea why it'd be windy in Chicago, right?
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, what's going on? So we went there. We tried this on draft a little bit. And
Wait,
which one? The 2021.
Okay.
And draft is a little bit different than bottle. It just is. But I think there were 6 guys with us total, and I think the general consensus, everybody said, nah. On this one.
So what does a draft pour cost? 10.
It cost nothing because it was on a ticket.
It comes with the ticket.
$85 a ticket. So
Granted, we also had this.
unlimited pours.
Damn.
I had about 8 pours of VSOJ.
Yeah.
Still, so I don't think it's worth secondary either one of them. But
I don't remember.
Did you make a poop there?
Yeah, I made lots of things.
In the porta potty? Did you poop in the porta potty?
They didn't have any porta potties.
Oh, they have real bathrooms?
No, I thought about you though.
Did they have real bathrooms at Photo?
I thought about you when I was taking a shit.
If Photo took a shit.
Yeah.
he said that. He said, "This one's for Jeff."
Was the floor like all wet? And
I was like, this one's for Jeff, see?
There's a poop for you, see? There's a poop right now, see?
Listen here.